Hi there, it's me, Celia. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a reading about a mysterious smell that was coming from somewhere in southwest Washington. It went down through Vancouver, Washington into the Portland area, and nobody knows where it's coming from. It has been ruled out that it was volcanic, because Mount St. Helens is monitored and there was nothing happening there. There were no reports of anything happening in any industry or with the railroads. So just because there's no reports doesn't mean something didn't happen, right? So I want to take a look at that. The smell was apparently rotten, like dead things. Some people also said it was a sulfury smell. Some people said no, it wasn't a sulfury smell, it was an ammonia type smell. So there's different interpretations of the smell. Some people thought it was fishy. So yeah, we'll have to take a look. Acrid was another thing that it was described as being. I kind of want to do Herbcrafter's Tarot, which is my main tarot, but I'm also kind of interested in the Housewives Tarot because I think that's a little bit more mundane for me. I originally got this deck thinking it would be kind of like an industry, business, I don't know why, corporate type deck, which is funny to say, but I have the Cowgirls and Aliens and my Lenormand. Lenormand would probably be the most straightforward, but I feel like I might need some more details than what Lenormand can give. So I'm going to do Lenormand, but also something else. I will try the Housewives Tarot. We'll see how it goes. I feel compelled to use this lovely Italian notebook as my card mat. I did, believe it or not, iron this, but now look at it. It's all crazy, but I just love this. I think it's so cute. It's like just different flowers. I think I got this in Florence in 2019, and I don't ever use it. It's just like a folder that I keep around. I put stuff inside of it. It's so crazy how different decks do different things, and I'm starting to understand why people collect decks and use decks and curate them. I've been really resistant to that because it takes me a long time to get to know a deck. So I don't want to give up on a deck until I feel like I understand that deck. But I mean, that can take a really, really long time to really, really understand a deck. You can spend a whole lifetime with the deck. And in some ways that was limiting me. Like I literally spent over 20 years with Rider-Waite-Smith. And now I literally only have 3 tarot decks, one of which I've never used. No, I have 4. I have 4 tarot decks. So just shuffling and getting ready, this deck feels different. It feels more chaotic, and I do already kind of feel like and hear the clamoring of the plates for the pentacles and the cups for the cups and like the tools for the swords. I don't remember what the wands are. Oh, cleaning products, cleaning supplies. Oh yeah, this will be a good deck for this reading, I think. So I can already hear like the material nature of the minor arcana. And I also feel like this chaos, and I was listening into this, and I heard all these like things that I am gonna call like Washington State, I mean almost tropes in a way of like I heard this marching, and that made me think of World War II and the chemical bombs that were created in Washington State. Oh God, what is it called? There's a place in Washington where these chemicals were made, and like everybody that lived there got sick. Holden? No, I can't remember what it's called. Holden Village is actually somewhere in Washington. Hampsford? Oh, God. I don't know the name of it, but everybody got like their thyroid ruined by living there. And it was like super top secret. Okay, so I'm feeling that industry. Also, Boeing is in Washington. I don't know, I guess I'm getting kind of like a military industrial complex sort of vibe, if that's a thing, or at least something related to industry. But then there's also kind of like a spooky paranormal vibe. Maybe it's like an energy of the land sort of thing, or just of a forest or the ocean and how all the mountains and how they all converge. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle one more time. And I'm gonna do the source of the smell and then 3 cards underneath. 6 of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles, we have this devil. This is Halloween time. This is spooky. 2 ghosts and a devil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like somebody's being lured in with candy and treats. I do remember reading the info book about this, and it's like, offer up your best. Like, make sure your candy bucket is full at Halloween. Make sure kids do want to come to your house. I also think of 6 of Pentacles about a contract. Maybe that's more of a Rider-Waite-Smith sort of thing. But this is contractual. It's like, on Halloween, we do this thing, and in return, we get treats and candy. Having the devil and the ghost here makes me think that there may be, this is just my, I guess, it's not direct intuition or anything. If I had to guess, there could be a possibility of some sort of nefarious action and 2 entities looking the other way. Because it is super important to note that, yeah, no industrial spill was, or burning or whatever was reported, but that doesn't mean that it's not happening. Okay, the 2 of Pentacles, making a decision, being overwhelmed. This lady, this mom has, like a snot-nosed kid tugging on her, and also this unruly dog tugging on her. There's also kind of the nod to the emotions being messed up with her like wavy sailor type top and the anchor apron. So there's feeling of overwhelm, too much going on, too many plates in the air. 7 of Swords. She has 2 and there's 5 down below. They're talking, she's left out. On the 5 of Pentacles. Oh, 1 is broken. And covering the eyes is kind of like, I'm seeing this, I'm kind of not. The 6 of Pentacles makes me think of a handout. Somebody receiving help from somebody else. Like, you need resources, I can give them to you. It's like a redistribution of wealth and resources and help. So this is the cause. And with the imagery of this card, it does make me think that people totally understand what's happening, but they're looking the other way. The handouts could be some sort of monetary exchange. So maybe one entity paid off another entity, whether it's government or industry or regulation or something. I don't really see how that would be the cause, but 2 of Pentacles could be a situation where things were off balance. You could get really stressed. You could be overburdened. You could be way over budget. You could have stress with your health, because Pentacles could be health or wealth. And sometimes with this card, you really need to offload something. I mean, that literally could be like the off-gassing of something that you need to get rid of. Like maybe you can't pay to dispose of your toxic waste, so you let it out, or you know an accident is happening, but you don't call and report it because financially you can't swing it. So I feel like there's definitely some financial motivations here. Seven of Swords is sneaking, stealth, stealing. Yeah, this is like going behind backs and taking what you need from somebody else. There is sometimes a feeling of having a soiled social status. So if there is, like, let's say, of all the places or like industry or manufacturing areas or whatever that you could look at, I would look at ones who aren't doing as well as they used to, who somehow have a reputation for not following the rules or like not doing their share or something like that. People who have gotten written up before, because there seems to be somebody that has, or something that has a reputation already for being sneaky and underhand. There's also could be like a betrayal. Like with the Six of Pentacles, this is right underneath the Six of Pentacles. It's almost like, what if there was one company or group or industry or something that was going to help another one, and they did, but somehow that was also a betrayal, maybe to somebody else, maybe within the agreement. Maybe it's unrelated. Maybe it's a betrayal related to something different. I mean, maybe just by releasing this, whatever caused the smell, that in itself is a betrayal. Like you said you weren't going to, and now you did. The Five of Pentacles, we could have like a financial loss. That's pretty bad. So somebody, yeah, if you were to like dig around in people's books, they would be struggling. And we have it here too. And I have it here too. We have Three Pentacles. I feel like money definitely led to this sort of thing. The Eight of Swords reversed. Trying to escape from some sort of constraint. The Eight of Wands reversed. Something being stopped. Progress being halted. Not moving forward. And the Two of Swords, a difficult decision, being at a crossroads. Yeah, I think that if I had to just take a guess at this point, I would think this is leaning towards, or one way that this could be interpreted is that there was some sort of entity, business, whatever, that was pushed financially to have to, in their mind, have to release whatever created this smell. Yeah, they really felt like they had no other choice. They had to release this burden. They had to get it out. And maybe they paid somebody off. Maybe there's not enough funding to even investigate who was doing it. I want to look at Cowboys and Aliens because there are so many good cards in here that are like kind of engineering related. I mean, there's also the social kind of societal aspects within the cowboy realm of these, but I think I'm going to do 3 to 6 of these. The Drifter. I trust myself and find answers within. The Highwayman. I am determined and will keep trying. The Preacher. The Alien Queen. I haven't gotten that one yet. The Mutant. And the Smuggler. Funny that the first 3 are the Cowboys and the bottom 3 are the aliens. This is also a card I haven't had, the Drifter. What I think about this, first of all, is like this smoke is coming out. I mean, it's a cloud, but to me it looks like a smoke. like coming out into the sky. You know, the smell drifted. I don't think it was supposed to go where it was supposed to go. This could be something that whatever created the smell, perhaps they've done this before, but they didn't realize it was going to kind of catch in a certain valley, or like certain weather patterns were going to keep it there. I'm just really, really drawn to how the like atmosphere is like pushing upon the landscape. You know, like there's like these fronts of like high pressure pushing down. And when that happens, this noxious fumes or whatever caused the smell is going to like spread where it can. They did not want this to happen, but I think they knew what they were doing. The highwayman, this is like demanding money. Like, in order for you to do this, you have to pay the fee. So that was a major motivation for this. Maybe they didn't want to pay the fee to dispose of something. Maybe they didn't want to upgrade their equipment. There's some sort of financial negligence. I already saw that. The preacher, it's kind of like, it can be many different things in this instance. Usually I think it's like being really welcoming and not judgmental and open to whoever, you know, not having judgment, basically. Because it's kind of the best of what a church congregation could offer. I think they were afraid of being judged. Maybe they were afraid of like some sort of lawsuit or a fee or something, a write-up. Maybe they already had that. Because I'm hearing this is about the judgment. Like they were too scared to show up for the preacher, for the judgment that they would have. The alien queen, I celebrate my success. I think they were trying to be on top, or they have been on top at some sort of juncture of their business. The mutant, I will take care of myself. This kind of makes me think of how harmful this could have been, or that the waste was toxic in some regard. Now, people didn't say they got sick, so that's great. You know, of course, there's a possibility that they might, but it kind of makes me think of, you know, something like, maybe it's just a metaphor to help me think of the type of covert things where like chemicals for war, like, you know, what were making like the bombs in World War II in Washington, like nuclear sort of things. It's maybe like that level of, maybe it's government involved. I didn't necessarily get that in the first reading. Maybe it's just showing me that it's similar to that. It could, they could know exactly who did it, but they're doing a cover-up as well. The smuggler, I will create my own opportunities in life. To me, this is about doing things kind of under the table to get ahead. I mean, it can be about a lot of things. The eyes here makes me think that there were some eyes. I'm thinking, did the entity that did the spill or released the scent, did they have eyes, or the government have eyes on them, or what is this under the table sort of thing being brought up? What does that mean? They just had avenues to get rid of their stuff. Okay. Like maybe they knew the underground ways. With these cowboy and alien oracle cards, I'm kind of, it's part of the same story as the cards, the tarot cards laid out. And am I really surprised? This is actually quite basic so far. It's like the scent was released. Now I'm exposed. Have to pay a fee, not wanting to face judgment. So they didn't want to do the regular order of operations for whatever caused the scent. Like, they didn't want to pay a fee. They didn't want to get rid of it. They didn't want to upgrade their equipment because of financial reasons, is kind of what the tarot reading was saying. Somebody in charge, toxic waste under the table. Maybe, yeah, there's some sort of way that, like, I don't want to say it's like a trade of toxic waste, or like there's something that this is a way to get rid of it that somebody in charge decided. Okay. This is a very boring reading. Somebody had something gross in their factory or whatever and just didn't want to pay for it, and they released it, and then people accidentally spilled it for longer than they wanted. People are looking the other way. Some money's involved for a payoff or whatever. And that's that. So what is going to happen? The fox. So business will be investigated, I think. Things will be revealed and their desires. Fox. Yeah, the desires and motives of the business will come to light. Star, King, and the birds. There will be talk about it. It might just be chit chat. It might not be, it might be, is there like an equivalent to blind items for like government and businesses? You know, like gossip sort of things, or like leaks, document leaks. There might be something like that happens. I don't know if it will be an official investigation. The birds makes me think it's more informal conversation. It's more like whistleblowers. It's not like happening in the court of law or anything. It's just people exposing what they heard. The star just means like it will be seen. And the key is like the true situation here. The whip, its health consequences. Oh, and the mice, even more. And it's right over the mutant with like the toxic waste that I was thinking. And the sun. So more so than the business, covert, stealth, sneaking around, taking money, taking bribes, working under the table, more than that, what will be the driving force for some sort of public recognition or understanding of what happened is because of the health consequences, because the mice is disease. The whip is about kind of like hurting or harm. I mean, it's about many things. So the fox, the business, yeah, the business will be harmed. The moon, the health issues will set things off. Maybe different organizations or groups of people or whatever will measure some sort of levels of something in the air, and they'll be able to figure it out, or in the water or something like that. And the sun, the birds, and the desires will be like on Twitter, kind of like I always think that with the birds, like that level of social media, like, oh, I heard this, I heard that. Some of it is a game of telephone, some of it is outright lies, but some of it may come out through chit chat, leaks, anonymous tips, sort of things to be exposed. The fox, the whip, the sun, the lily, the desires of the business and its harm that it caused will be exposed there. This is like a revealing of the health problems online, or these will happen. So I wish I kind of knew like what really was the smell. I don't know why. I thought maybe I would like think of like a specific industry, but the truth of the matter is I don't really know industries. Here in Portland, there was this thing where a glass company was releasing like a crazy amount of lead and arsenic into the air. And people who lived around the glass company always knew it because it smelled bad. But, you know, the company said that they were doing everything fine. But what happened was some independent researchers, you know, not part of a government agency or anything, were monitoring moss and lichen in various vicinities around Portland, and they could see within the moss and lichen that there was an increase in heavy metals, and it was specifically related to the vicinity around the glass company, and that's what got them in trouble. And it was a big thing. They were releasing a ton of toxic chemicals into the air. I don't know if it was just lead, just arsenic, or both of them. I feel like lead was involved. I had a friend that lived in that neighborhood, and she had a kid, you know? Like, that's gross. And anyways, it was that sort of work or research that, like, people did, and then they, with the moss and lichen, and then they brought it to, like, a university, and then they brought it to some sort of agency. And that was part of the evidence they needed to shut this place down. And they had been avoiding, you know, taking care of their stuff for a really long time. So it was kind of like no surprise that it happened. It's always sad when it does happen, but that's the shady part of business, I guess, industry, whatever. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.